Growing up, I trusted my family more than anything. I thought blood meant loyalty, that no matter how rough life became, the people closest to me would protect me. But sometimes the deepest betrayal doesn't come from strangers. It comes from those you love most. When my parents passed, they left behind the one thing of value our family had. A small piece of land on the edge of town. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine, my inheritance, my chance at a future. I had plans for it, starting a workshop, building something sustainable. It was hope in a world that often felt hopeless. But my relatives, an uncle and 2 cousins, saw it differently. They saw cash. One afternoon, while I was away working a double shift, they forged my consent, filed paperwork, and sold that land for a fraction of its worth. Pennies compared to its real value. When I confronted them, furious, they shrugged. You wouldn't have done anything with it, my uncle said. It's just land, my cousin added. We needed the money. You'll get over it. Get over it. They had sold my future, my one anchor, and dismissed it like pocket change. I walked away that night feeling hollow, powerless. But inside something hardened. I swore I would get it back. Not just the land, but my freedom from the weight of their betrayal. For years, I worked in silence. I took every job I could, factory shifts, late-night deliveries, freelance work. I saved every coin, every dollar, living small, staying quiet. My relatives thought they had crushed me. They laughed when they saw me still wearing the same clothes, still driving the same old truck. They mistook my silence for defeat. What they didn't know was that the land they sold so cheaply had skyrocketed in value. Developers wanted it. Businesses wanted it. And the man who had bought it? He was an old businessman who respected hard work. I approached him one day humbly, asking if he'd ever consider selling. He studied me for a long time, then said, "Son, I like people who don't quit. If you want it, I'll give you first rights when the time comes." It took me 3 more years, but eventually I had enough. More than enough. And true to his word, the man sold it back to me, not for pennies, but at market value. By then, I had the money. By then, I had the patience. When the papers were signed, I stood on that land again, breathing in the air I thought I'd lost forever. But the sweetest part wasn't just owning it, it was what came next. My uncle and cousins had wasted the money they got from selling it. Gambling, bad investments, reckless spending. By the time they realized the land was worth millions, it was too late. They came to me, faces pale, voices trembling. "Maybe we could work something out," my uncle suggested. "We're family," one cousin whispered. "Surely we can share?" I looked at them, remembering their laughter, their dismissal, their betrayal. I didn't yell. I didn't gloat. I simply said, "You sold my future for pennies. And now, I've bought back my freedom, with your regret." Their faces crumpled. They begged, they bargained, but I turned away. Because silence had been my weapon, and regret was now their prison. I built on that land, just as I had planned years before, turning it into something lasting. Every brick, every wall stood as proof that patience and persistence outlive betrayal. And my relatives? They watched from the sidelines, broke, bitter, drowning in the irony that the land they once discarded became the foundation of my success. That was #silent payback.